I want to go back to this idea of the fact that you chose to make a change. You chose this reality, and because you do, that affirmation is true for you. You do get paid abundantly to authentically be yourself. That is your reality. I've seen it. I saw you at the start, right after you quit your job, about to go into coaching 4 years ago, 4 years and 2 months. And now that is your reality, but you chose it. And a lot of people, I know for a fact that you would have had clients that you work with that look up to you and go, Alex has this X factor, this authenticity, this ability to just express herself for exactly what feels true for her and be her authentic self. And then you'd have people come in and work with you who miss that gap of, because you mentioned choosing, like people who are ready, that are choosing to live their dream life, choosing to live the opportunity to express themselves authentically. Like you chose it, and then you chose it. But a lot of people don't choose it. And the common thread that with every single person that I've interviewed, and I know it'll be with every single person that I continue to interview, everyone that I bring onto this podcast at some point has chosen it and taken responsibility that this is my reality and I'm going to allow it to happen, and then continue to up level and got more support, and it becomes easier and easier over time. But ultimately it starts with that choice, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
it does. And I think hearing all that, if someone's thinking, well, how can I choose? Or maybe I have chosen in the past, but I haven't followed through. And if that's the case, the one thing that made it really, I'm going to use the word easy for me to follow through, was activating this next level. Because I could talk about courage a lot, but the reason I have courage to take action, like crazy shit, is because I actually have almost a diluted level of self-belief. And I say diluted because, you know, I believe in the invisible. I believe I have more faith than fear. I believe in the thing that I want to bring into the physical 3D reality beforehand. And I feel it and I know it and I anchor in that knowing. And so for me, one of the biggest things that I did to really ramp up that level of self-belief, really in the early days, and I'm literally still at my 9-to-5 job. So I was waking up at 5 a.m, going for runs down the beach, going home, TM meditation. So fitting it all in before I had to get to work by 8. And one of the things I would do is I would like put in really like full on empowering music in my headphones running down Beach Road. And I'd like run down Beach Road like a crazy woman, pounding on my chest. And I'd be screaming out, I can, I must, I will, I am. Now, I don't know where I got that from, but what that was doing is whatever I choose, I can, I must, I will, I already am. And I would literally be screaming it to the point that cyclists next to me would like literally almost fall off their bike because they're thinking this woman's lost the plot. And I only did this for probably about a couple of weeks straight every single day. And my life completely changed. It's like there is nothing, like my level of self-belief skyrocketed. And if there's a superpower that all changes our lives, it is self-belief. So if you like this tool, give it a crack. Give yourself a 7-day challenge and choose an empowering belief. Make it short, punchy, and in the present moment. And just ingrain it as a knowing in your cellular being. Because I remember doing that for 2 weeks. And there was a point on my run and I was like, wow, I know life will never, ever be the same. And it was just that pivotal point, a moment where I knew my life was just changed forever. Because I tried to change my life so many times, Ryan. And only when I started really rewiring my belief systems when things started changing. And it's so simple. It's Manifestation 101, how to rewire a belief. The loudest, the most dominant, and the most frequent thought that goes on in your mind wins. And that circuit needs to be sealed. So go seal a new circuit starting today.
That's so cool. I love that. That's going to be a little highlight snippet that we're going to use.
Awesome. Love it.
But I know for a fact that with your radical authenticity and your talk of galactic team and you just expressing your beliefs and truths, you would 100% get people commenting on your posts and videos and stuff like that, being like,
yes,
you know, you're a lunatic. You don't know what you're talking about. Blah, blah. What are you talking about? Like
sometimes.
People that are kind of skeptical of that side of thing, but here they are on the other side, just being like, that isn't true. That isn't real. They don't have belief. They don't believe in the invisible. They don't believe in the impossible. And if you have low belief and you don't believe in anything and you're kind of all stunted, you're like, oh, I'm right. Yeah. Then you don't take action, because if you don't believe anything, it doesn't make sense to take action. It only makes sense in your mind to take action if you know something's going to yield a result.
Yeah.
So the more you get that belief of, like what you were saying, if you knew for 100, like just a 1,000,000,000% chance, you knew that you were going to make $1 million doing what you love, you'd do it.
You take the action, right?
Yeah,
You take the
100%.
action, like literally, you go live, you do that, so you book your first workshop. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And so that's mega, mega powerful. And it's something
And I feel like you activated a lot of that in me, like when we first started working, you know, like, and it just like, I feel like you really held me in that space. And yeah, it's like, it's funny, if I could leave your tribe with something as well, I used to look at so many people like yourself or like other speakers that would like literally like talk to a room full of people or be on stage, and I'd be like, oh my God, I could never do that. I could never be a speaker. How do they talk for hours without notes or scripts? And what you do is, when you actually pedestal someone, and it's good to be in close proximity with someone you admire and respect, but when you actually pedestal someone, what you're doing is you're rejecting those skills or attributes or codes, was what I like to call them, that actually already exist in you. And these are your higher self codes that are available to you right now. But for me, I was rejecting my communication codes. I was rejecting my speaker codes. I was rejecting my wisdom codes. So this is like where we got to look at, is pedestaling actually serving you? Like if you pedestal Gary Vee or Ryan Madgers or Tony Robbins, what in them specifically do you love and admire? And where do you already embody those codes and see that within yourself, instead of creating that gap and that separation?
Yeah. And if you just got a gun and just pointed it at someone who didn't believe they could speak and said, I'm going to shoot you in the head if you don't speak.
They fucking speak.
They get in front of an audience and they'd speak. And as they started to move, they might start like kind of like tentative. Oh, hey guys, I'm speaking on stage right now. And you know, they'd be all not sure what they're going to talk about and stuck. But then as they started moving, like what you were saying at the start, I remember, what's the language that you used at the start? You're like, fear holds on to.
Fear loves to feed on stationary people.
Oh, that is so good, because it's true. Whenever I'm feeling low, I'm always just like, my physiology is all down and low. And if I get up and start walking or run, or I have a cold shower, which gets me breathing and moving, I'm just like feeling more empowered. If I start doing,
it's almost like I want you to think of like, there's like little fear monsters. And when you're stationary, you haven't taken action in a while, you're starting to feel that stuff. They're kind of like, ha, we've got one. They haven't moved in a while. Let's go. Let's feed on her. Ah! But as soon as you start moving, you realize that they're there. It's kind of like a black cloud. As soon as you walk away from it, it's there. The sunshine's there. You've just got to move.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's so powerful.